The TNS Prometheus hung silently in the void between stars, its titanium alloy hull gleaming under the distant light of an alien sun. Captain Sarah Chen stood on the bridge, her dark eyes fixed on the holographic display, showing 3 approaching vessels of unknown design. After 15 years of deep space exploration, humanity had finally made contact with an advanced alien civilization, though not in the way anyone had expected. Analysis complete, Captain. Lieutenant Rivera announced from his station, his fingers dancing across the neural interface. The vessels are composed of materials we've never encountered before. Energy readings are off the charts, but they're running cold, like they're trying to hide something. Chen nodded, her expression remaining neutral despite the tension coiling in her stomach. The Prometheus was humanity's most advanced warship, a testament to their rapid technological evolution, since the Third World War had forced global unification. But these alien vessels, something about them felt wrong. "Open a channel," she ordered. "All frequencies, first contact protocol Alpha." The communications officer, Dr. Yuki Tanaka, initiated the broadcast. Seconds stretched into minutes as they waited for a response. The alien ships continued their approach, their formation tight and disciplined. Military vessels, Chen was certain of it now. The holographic display suddenly flickered, and a figure materialized in the center of the bridge. The alien stood nearly 3 meters tall, its iridescent scales shifting colors in the ship's lighting. Multiple compound eyes studied the human crew with an unsettling intensity. "I am Overseer Xandar of the Galactic Federation." The alien spoke, its words translated by the ship's eye. "Your presence in this sector is unexpected." Chen stepped forward, maintaining perfect composure. "I am Captain Sarah Chen of the Terran naval ship Prometheus. We are on a peaceful mission of exploration and seek diplomatic contact." The alien scales rippled with what might have been amusement or contempt. "Peaceful, yet you travel in a vessel clearly designed for war. How typical of emerging species." "We believe in being prepared," Chen replied evenly. "The universe is vast and unknown. Would your people explore it defenseless? Our people," Xandar's voice carried an edge now, "have maintained order in this galaxy for 50,000 years. We guide younger species, protect them from their own aggressive tendencies." Lieutenant Rivera's console suddenly flashed red. "Captain." Energy spike from all 3 vessels. "They're powering weapons." Chen didn't hesitate. "Shields at maximum. Power to defensive systems only. Let's show them we're not the aggressors they think we are." The alien's hologram smiled, revealing rows of crystalline teeth. "A wise choice, Captain. Your species shows potential, but you must understand your place in the greater order. The Federation will guide your development, as we have guided countless others. With all due respect, Overseer." Chen's voice was steel wrapped in silk. "Humanity charts its own course. We welcome peaceful dialogue, but we will not be controlled." "You misunderstand, Captain." Xandar's form flickered slightly. "This is not a negotiation. Your species will be contained and guided, or it will be deemed too dangerous to exist. Others have made the same choice you face now. Most chose poorly." The bridge crew tensed, but Chen remained perfectly still, her mind racing through options. The Prometheus carried technologies that even her own crew didn't know about. Last resort weapons developed in secret by Earth's unified research divisions. But using them would reveal capabilities humanity had worked hard to keep hidden. "There is another choice," Chen said carefully. "Partnership. Equal exchange of knowledge and culture. Humanity has much to offer the galaxy, if given the chance." Xandar's scales darkened to a deep purple. "You have 1 planetary rotation to submit to Federation authority. After that, we will be forced to demonstrate the consequences of defiance. Choose wisely, Captain Chen. Your entire species depends on it." The hologram vanished, leaving the bridge in tense silence. Chen turned to her crew, seeing the same determination in their eyes that she felt in her heart. Send an encrypted quantum burst to Earth Command, she ordered. Priority 1. Tell them we've made first contact, and it's exactly what we've been preparing for. Then begin warming up the Phantom drive. If they want to see what humanity is capable of, we'll show them, just not in the way they're expecting. As her crew sprang into action, Chen watched the alien vessels on the display. The Federation thought they were dealing with another simple species to be dominated or destroyed. They were about to learn that humanity had evolved not just through technological advancement, but through centuries of overcoming their own worst tendencies. They had unified not through conquest, but through the realization that cooperation and innovation were stronger than domination. The Prometheus's quantum computers began their calculations, preparing for a maneuver that would either save humanity or reveal their greatest secrets to a hostile galaxy. Either way, the next few hours would change the course of human history forever. 8 hours after the Federation's ultimatum, the TNS Prometheus appeared to be exactly where it had been. But appearances could be deceiving. Captain Chen watched as Dr. Tanaka's fingers flew across her console, decrypting the massive data packet they'd intercepted during their ghost maneuver. They never even realized we moved, Lieutenant Rivera remarked, pride evident in his voice. The Phantom drive had allowed them to create a perfect holographic projection of the ship while the real Prometheus slipped away, tapping into the quantum substrate of space to gather intelligence from the Federation's own communications network. Captain, Dr. Tanaka's voice was tight with concern. You need to see this. The holographic display came to life, showing countless streams of data, records spanning centuries. Chen's blood ran cold as she began to understand what she was seeing. The Federation wasn't just controlling developing species, they were farming them. 16 civilizations, Tanaka explained, her voice trembling. All of them reached about our level of technology. All of them were approached by the Federation. And all of them were harvested, Chen finished grimly. The data showed how the Federation would guide species to develop specific technologies, steering their research in particular directions. Once a civilization had developed the innovations the Federation wanted, they would be systematically stripped of their resources, their populations reduced to manageable numbers and transformed into client states. They're technological parasites. Chief Engineer Marcus Wong spoke up from his station. They haven't actually advanced their own technology in thousands of years. They just manipulate other species into doing the research for them, then take what they want. Chen's mind raced through the implications, Earth's recent technological breakthroughs. The Phantom drive, quantum computing, consciousness transfer. They weren't just achievements. They were bait. There's more, Tanaka continued. I found references to something called the repository. It seems to be some kind of massive database containing all the technological and scientific knowledge the Federation has acquired. Its location is heavily encrypted, but nothing's unbreakable, Chen finished. How long? With the quantum computers at full capacity, maybe 6 hours. Chen nodded, turning to address her crew. The Federation gave us 1 rotation to submit. They're expecting either surrender or a futile attempt at resistance. Instead, we're going to do what humanity does best. We're going to adapt and overcome. She pulled up a tactical display, showing the positions of other human ships hidden throughout nearby sectors. The Federation thought Earth was just beginning to reach for the stars. They had no idea that humanity had been secretly preparing for this moment for decades. Send encrypted bursts to all our hidden outposts, she ordered. Tell them to begin Operation Shadowfall. And contact Earth Command. Tell them. She paused, choosing her words carefully. Tell them we've confirmed Protocol Omega. The threat is real, and it's worse than we imagined. As her crew carried out their orders, Chen studied the Federation vessels still watching the phantom projection of her ship. Their arrogance was their weakness. They were so convinced of their technological superiority that they never considered someone might have developed innovations they couldn't detect. Captain, Wong called out, I've been analyzing their shield frequencies. There's something odd about them. They're not just defensive. They're designed to contain massive amounts of energy, like they're afraid of something burning them from the inside out. Chen's eyes narrowed as pieces began falling into place. The species they've harvested, they're not just taking their technology. They're afraid of them. Afraid of what might happen if these civilizations were allowed to develop freely. Ma'am, Rivera's console lit up with new data. We're detecting quantum fluctuations from the Federation ships. I think they're preparing to demonstrate those consequences they mentioned. Let them. Chen's voice was cold steel. While they're busy attacking our hologram, we'll be accessing their precious repository. And then we'll show them why they were right to be afraid. The bridge fell silent as the crew worked, each member understanding the gravity of their situation. They weren't just fighting for humanity's freedom. They were fighting to break a cycle of exploitation that had lasted for millennia. In the depths of the Prometheus, experimental quantum processors began breaking through the Federation's encryption. Soon, they would have access to the accumulated knowledge of countless civilizations. But more importantly, they would have the locations of other species currently under Federation control. Dr. Tanaka, Chen spoke softly, when you break through their security, look for any records of resistance. There must have been others who fought back. We need to find them. The next few hours would determine not just humanity's fate, but potentially the fate of countless other species trapped under Federation control. As Chen watched her crew work, she felt a fierce pride. The Federation thought they were dealing with just another primitive species to be exploited. They were about to learn that humanity's greatest strength wasn't their technology. It was their unbending resolve to fight against oppression, wherever they found it. The Zera K resistance leader stood motionless, all 6 of her eyes fixed on the holographic display showing the TNS Prometheus. Captain Chen could see the conflict in the alien's posture, decades of oppression warring with a desperate hope. You're saying, the Zera K's translator rendered her crystalline voice into smooth English, that your species not only resisted the Federation but managed to deceive them entirely. We had advantages they didn't expect, Chen replied. The Federation's own arrogance blinded them. They never imagined a primitive species would have developed quantum stealth technology. The meeting was taking place in a hidden base deep within an asteroid belt at the edge of Zera K space. After breaking into the repository, the Prometheus had spent 2 weeks making covert contacts with resistance movements among the Federation's subjugated species. The Zera K had been among the first to respond. Our scientists were close to developing similar technologies, the resistance leader, who called herself Nexus, said bitterly, before the Federation arrived and guided us away from such research. They claimed it was for our own protection. Chief Engineer Wong stepped forward, holding up a small device. This is a quantum encryption module. We can provide your resistance with enough of these to secure your communications completely. The Federation won't even know they exist. Nexus's crystalline form shimmered, a sign of strong emotion among her people. And in return, what does humanity want from us? Partners, Chen said simply, equals in the fight against the Federation. We have the technology to resist them, but we need allies who know their operations, their weaknesses. Together, we can break their control over this sector of the galaxy. Lieutenant Rivera's voice came urgently through Chen's neural link. Captain, we've got incoming Federation patrols. 3 heavy cruisers, about 30 minutes out. Chen didn't let the news shake her composure. It seems our time is limited, Nexus. The choice is yours, but it must be made now. The crystalline alien surface rippled with patterns of light, their equivalent of a fierce smile. The Federation has controlled us for 3 generations, Captain. They've stripped our worlds, stunted our growth, turned us into dependent servants. If you can truly help us break free, she straightened to her full height. The Zera K will fight. Over the next 20 minutes, quantum encryption modules were transferred to the Resistance, along with detailed technical specifications for technologies the Federation had prevented them from developing. As the last transfers were completing, Dr. Tanaka approached Chen privately. Captain, the latest decryptions from the repository. I found something disturbing. The Federation doesn't just fear unrestricted technological development. They're terrified of something they call the convergence. Explain, Chen ordered, watching as her crew efficiently prepared for departure. It's theoretical, but they believe if species are allowed to develop freely, eventually they'll achieve a level of technology that could reshape reality itself. The Federation's entire system of control isn't just about harvesting resources. It's about preventing any species from reaching that potential. Chen's eyes narrowed. And humanity? How close are we? According to their metrics, closer than any species they've encountered in 10,000 years. That's why they moved against us so quickly. An alert flashed through the neural network. The Federation cruisers were approaching faster than expected. But as Chen gave the order to begin evacuation procedures, she noticed something odd about the tactical display. Rivera, she called out, confirm those energy signatures. Something's not right. Her tactical officer's eyes widened. Captain, the Federation ships. Their power distribution is completely wrong for their size. They're not cruisers. They're dreadnoughts disguised as cruisers. The revelation hit Chen like a physical blow. The Federation hadn't just been sending patrols. They'd been hunting for them specifically, with enough firepower to vaporize a small moon. Nexus. Chen turned to the Zerakai leader. Your people need to get out of here now. Use the quantum modules to mask your retreat. We'll draw their attention. You'll be destroyed. Nexus protested, her crystalline form pulsing with concern. Chen allowed herself a small smile. The Federation thinks they know what humanity is capable of. They've analyzed our visible technology, planned countermeasures, prepared for every scenario they can imagine. She paused, watching as the massive Federation ships drew closer on the tactical display. But they don't know about Project Phoenix. And they're about to learn why humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology. It's our ability to turn apparent defeat into victory. As the Zerakai resistance quickly evacuated, Chen connected directly to the Prometheus's quantum core through her neural link. Around her, the bridge crew did the same, their consciousness merging with the ship's systems in a way the Federation had never imagined possible. The Federation's dreadnoughts were about to discover that humanity hadn't just developed new technologies. They'd evolved beyond the need for conventional warfare entirely. The real question was whether the Federation's rigid minds could even comprehend what they were about to witness. The Federation dreadnoughts opened fire, their energy weapons cutting through space where the Prometheus appeared to be. But the ship wasn't there. It wasn't really anywhere anymore. At least not in any way the Federation could comprehend. Inside what used to be the Prometheus's bridge, Captain Chen existed as a quantum probability field. Her consciousness merged with her crew and her ship through Project Phoenix's revolutionary technology. They had become something new, something that transcended the boundaries between organic and artificial intelligence. They still can't detect us. Rivera's thoughts rippled through their shared consciousness. The Federation's sensors are locked onto our quantum echo. The Phoenix Protocol had transformed the Prometheus and its crew into a hybrid entity that could exist partially outside normal spacetime. It was humanity's ultimate trump card, not a weapon, but an evolution that the Federation's rigid technological hierarchy had never predicted. Multiple quantum signatures detected. Tanaka's consciousness reported. More Federation ships arriving. They're trying to establish a containment grid. Chen directed their shared attention to the tactical probability matrix. The Federation was deploying in a standard sphere formation, attempting to trap what they thought was a conventional vessel. Their tactical doctrine hadn't changed in thousands of years. They had never needed it to. Begin Phase 2, Chen commanded. Throughout the hybrid consciousness that they have become, algorithms shifted and reality flexed. The Prometheus didn't just cloak or move, it fractured, creating multiple quantum states of itself across a dozen locations simultaneously. To the Federation's sensors, it would appear as if the human ship had somehow split into 12 identical vessels, each one as real as the others. Aboard the Federation command ship, Overseer Xandar watched in growing horror as his tactical display became chaos. "Impossible," he hissed. "No species has ever achieved quantum superposition at this scale." "Sir," his tactical officer's scales had turned pale, "we're detecting energy signatures we can't identify." They're rewriting local spacetime." Chen felt a grim satisfaction through the quantum link. "Transmit the message," she ordered. Across all quantum states, the Prometheus broadcast simultaneously. "Attention Federation forces. Your technological superiority was based on stealing and suppressing innovation. Humanity chose a different path. We evolved. This is your only warning. Retreat or witness capabilities your hierarchy never allowed to exist." The Federation responded with a full barrage from all ships, beams of destructive energy that could shatter planets. But the Prometheus existed in multiple quantum states simultaneously, and conventional weapons couldn't affect what they couldn't definitively locate. "They're not going to back down," Wang observed through the link. "Their entire power structure depends on maintaining the illusion of superiority." "Then we show them the truth," Chen decided. "Execute Protocol Omega." The quantum-merged consciousness of ship and crew reached out, touching the fabric of spacetime itself. The knowledge they had gained from the repository, combined with humanity's unique innovations, allowed them to do what the Federation had feared most: manipulate reality at its most fundamental level. Around the Federation fleet, space began to ripple. Their energy weapons bent back upon themselves, trapped in localized loops of distorted spacetime. Their shields, designed to resist conventional forces, proved useless against attacks that came from multiple quantum states simultaneously. "Multiple Federation vessels showing critical system failures," Rivera reported. "Their power cores can't handle a quantum feedback." Through their shared consciousness, Chen felt the moment the Federation commanders realized they weren't fighting a battle. They were witnessing the very thing their entire civilization had been built to prevent. A species had broken through the artificial barriers they had created, achieving what they had dubbed the convergence. "Overseer," Chen broadcast directly to Xandar's ship, "your fleet is disabled. Your weapons are useless. But we're not like you. We don't seek to dominate or destroy. Stand down and help us create something better." For long moments, there was silence. Then, from one of the Federation ships, then another, and another, came signals of surrender. But the command ship remained defiant. "You don't understand what you've done." Xandar's voice crackled through space. "The convergence, it will bring chaos to the ordered galaxy we've maintained for millennia." "No," Chen responded, the combined consciousness of her crew adding weight to her words. "It will bring freedom. The freedom to evolve, to innovate, to become what each species is capable of becoming. The chaos you fear is just the natural process of growth." As if to punctuate her words, quantum signals began arriving from across the sector. The Zerake had spread word of humanity's success, and other subjugated species were rising up. The Federation's carefully maintained hierarchy was already beginning to crumble. "The choice remains yours, Overseer," Chen declared. "Help us build a galaxy based on cooperation and shared growth, or be remembered as the last defenders of a system that suppressed countless civilizations' potential." Through the quantum link, the crew of the Prometheus waited, existing in multiple states of possibility, ready to either welcome new allies or eliminate the last vestiges of the Federation's oppressive regime. The next few moments would determine whether the galaxy would enter a new age of enlightenment or face one final devastating conflict. 1 month after the confrontation with the Federation fleet, the Great Assembly Hall on Earth hosted representatives from over 30 formerly subjugated species. The Prometheus, now permanently transformed by Project Phoenix, maintained a quantum presence throughout the solar system, existing everywhere and nowhere, a guardian of the new order being born. Captain Chen stood at the podium, her form flickering slightly as she maintained simultaneous quantum states, a visible reminder of humanity's evolution. Before her, beings of every conceivable form, crystalline, energy-based, biological, and even some that defied conventional classification, gathered to shape the galaxy's future. The Federation's hierarchy has fallen, she began, her voice carrying the harmonic resonance of the Prometheus's quantum-merged crew. Not through conquest, but through the very thing they feared most, unrestricted innovation and cooperation between species. In the front row, Nexus's crystalline form sparkled with approval. The Zerakae had been among the first to embrace their own version of quantum evolution, their crystalline nature making the transition almost seamless. Other species were following their own unique paths of development, free from the Federation's artificial constraints. We found something remarkable in the final decryption of the repository, Chen continued. The Federation's founders had discovered predictions of the convergence, a point where species would naturally begin to transcend their physical limitations. But instead of embracing this evolution, they chose to prevent it, fearing the loss of their control. Former Overseer Xandar, now a key advocate for reform among his people, rose to speak. His scales had developed a new iridescence, a sign of his own growing connection to quantum states. We were wrong, he admitted, his voice carrying genuine remorse. For millennia, we claimed to guide and protect, but we only served our own fear of change. We didn't understand that true stability comes from growth, not stagnation. Through the quantum link, Chen felt the approval of her crew. The Federation's surrender had not led to its destruction, but to its transformation. Many of its members, freed from the rigid hierarchy of their society, were experiencing their own rapid evolution. But challenges remain, Chen addressed the assembly. The convergence is not a destination but a journey. Each species must find its own path, its own way of transcending its current limitations. Some may choose to remain in conventional spacetime, others may evolve beyond physical form entirely. Our task is to ensure all have the freedom to choose. Dr. Tanaka's consciousness merged briefly with Chen's, adding her insights to the presentation. The holographic displays showed the rapid changes spreading through the galaxy. Quantum technologies merging with biological systems, civilizations rediscovering scientific paths that had been blocked for generations, new forms of consciousness emerging as species broke free from their constraints. We propose a new compact, Chen declared, not a hierarchy like the Federation, but a network of mutual support and protection. Earth will serve not as a ruler, but as a hub for innovation and cooperation. The Prometheus and ships like her will stand guard not to control, but to preserve the freedom of all species to develop according to their own nature. The assembly hall erupted in a cascade of responses, light patterns from crystalline beings, electromagnetic pulses from energy forms, and various vocalizations from biological entities. Through the quantum field that now connected many of them, Chen could feel their collective hope and determination. There will be those who resist change, she acknowledged. Former Federation hardliners who cling to the old ways, pirates, and opportunists who seek to exploit the transformation, perhaps even threats we haven't yet imagined. But we face them together, each contributing our unique strengths to our common defense. Wang's consciousness touched the quantum field, displaying the new technologies already emerging from cooperation between species. Innovations that would have been impossible under the Federation's restrictions were now commonplace. The Zerakae's crystalline computing merged with human quantum systems had produced breakthroughs that neither species could have achieved alone. This is humanity's true gift to the galaxy, Chen concluded. Not our technology, not our military strength, but our fundamental belief that diversity breeds innovation, that cooperation trumps control, and that the greatest achievements come not from suppressing change, but from embracing it. As the assembly moved to formalize the new compact, Shen's consciousness expanded through the quantum field, touching the minds of her crew and their allies across space. The Federation had feared chaos, but they had never understood that true stability comes from freedom. The freedom to grow, to change, and to become something greater than anyone could have predicted. The Prometheus maintained its quantum vigil, existing across multiple states of reality, a symbol of what was possible when artificial barriers were removed and species were allowed to reach their full potential. In the end, humanity's greatest victory had not come from defeating the Federation, but from showing the galaxy a better way forward, one where evolution was not something to be feared, but celebrated. The dawn of a new age had arrived, and its light would reach every corner of the galaxy, not as a conquering force, but as an invitation to join in the greatest adventure of all, the unlimited exploration of what was possible when intelligence was free to grow beyond its origins.